All right. Uh,
Let's see where the night takes us. Lean into it.
Hook
yeah, I don't.
ourselves up.
Yeah. Who wants to recap our last session for a point of inspiration?
Not it.
Okay, not it.
Oh no.
God, what a
Do I have to do it
terrible
again?
head.
I feel
Come
like
on, guys. We
I
don't
feel
have
like
Ted
either
to
me or
rely on
Ted.
right now.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
either me or Ted did it last time.
I feel like
You
somebody
got a
just
time
kicked-
break.
Somebody just kicked a crutch out from underneath me, and I don't like it.
If I wrote you.
I think I can do it, but maybe not. We'll see. We
Oh shit, I did take notes.
left the hole, I think. We left the dungeon. We
Killer
flew up
start.
out there, and we found that Owl was waiting up above, waiting for us to leave so that she could go back in. We talked to her and almost fought her, but Hyacinth kind of decided she didn't want to be an executioner, so got Owl to leave. I'm pretty sure. And we left, got back on the boat, spent a lot of time talking, discussing, goals and, kind of big picture stuff. We made it back to Luskin.
Some other stuff happened in there too.
Mhm.
Yeah, the shipwreck.
Oh yeah, the shipwreck, and we picked up the Hand of Light.
Hand of Light.
What was left of them?
And they told us about some shit that's going on over on the coast.
Yeah, and we gave them a tip to check in with the guy from the place with the things, the bots, the robots.
I name all of these things, and for what?
Hullbeck.
Yeah,
Yes. Yep. Got back to Luskin, reported in to Loxius. He mentioned that there's another thing for us to do that might be kind of political, I think. We went to Nick and Nax. And then we, I think, just went back to Dallas Corner. I don't remember anything else like specific happening.
Inks shared some rather personal information.
Hyacinth also shared.
Yeah. And Doug, don't take the fact that Tyler didn't quite remember that personally. He was coming off of the stress of the limelight.
I remember it. And in my recap, I said a lot of backstory stuff got shared.
I was a little delighted that we kind of glazed over it. I was like, we don't have to give it any more attention. We talked about it.
You both were sweating in your separate places, having to talk in front of everybody.
That's why I thought I didn't take notes, because I was like so concerned about the monologue I would have to do, and then after. So, but nope, I actually took really good notes. Speaking of, I have some blanks in my notes. If you would be kind enough to fulfill them.
What'll you give me for it?
It's inspiration.
Interesting. Okay, what are you looking for?
It's verbatim from my notes. Blank the Conqueror, Master of the Blight, blank.
Well, now I've got to double check. Hold on. Welcome, Ted.
Hello.
Let's see.
Sorry if I'm late.
Glad you made it. We're concluding recap. It is okay.
Can't get into my journal for some reason.
We were
Crusade.
actually lost without you, Ted.
We did have a full 30-second pause where somebody went, will somebody do the recap? And then we all realized collectively that, one, you were not here, and two, we had no backup plan.
Crusade, the Conqueror of the Blight Force.
Okay, so not even Master. I don't know where that came from.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't have been like It would have been like master of the blight force, but like those are the words you were looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, yes. So you guys have taken your morning to thrift some treasure, peruse some wares, and get at least the lead that there is something Lauxius is willing to ask you to do, provided you take the interest. But I think at the end of session there were a couple things that had been discussed as like directions to follow up with, maybe some leads or uh, possibly even some nouns that people would be interested in doing some research on. And so I think I'll give a second if anyone wants to start anything. If not, I'm going to randomly choose someone to pick what they're doing next because I don't know what you guys want to do. Okay. Thrilling. All right, I'm rolling a fucking die. Sweet.
All right,
Doug,
I'm
you're
just
first.
realizing Christian the
I can
Conqueror
do
of the Blight Force is relevant to this game. Is that a name we heard last week? Because I do not have that anywhere in my notes.
Yes. That was the names of the names of entities connected to what the Hand of Light had kind of revealed to Mel while on the ship when she went and spoke with them.
Oh, okay, that's why I don't have notes. Okay, I wasn't there. Sorry.
Yes, that is correct. That's okay. It's okay. I kind of figured that was exactly why. But Doug,
Mel did fill everyone in on that whole threat, though, considering it was kind of in the area.
yeah, but that also, but it's why Ted didn't get it in there.
Yeah,
So.
that's fair.
Okay. Yep.
Douglas.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
As we discussed a little bit, and kind of a thing that I didn't say last time, but Inks would have spent the night at her mom's house after
Okay.
sharing. She was feeling vulnerable, so she didn't want to spend the rest of the night with
Oh.
her. But she would have checked it with everyone, but if for like posterity's sake we can say nobody had any business, she would go straight to the Nightingale to continue her poisoning studies.
Okay.
And
We'll.
sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Continue. No, go ahead.
She would specifically find Mick, whose name I saved in my notes and I just looked up.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sit next to her because she was so helpful the last time.
Yeah. Yeah. She can help with your progress. And while you're here today, you are getting into it probably like within the first couple of hours of your time in training here. um Someone does like walk by your table and drop a very large like unhewn piece of lumber on the table in front of you, sort of scattering some pieces and like shaking the table. um, it's just this heavy thud and it almost like bounces off the table. It's a pretty big piece of barked wood that remains.
Hi, I'm working here.
I know. And the voice is very identifiable to you.
Mm. I actually kind of wanted to text you about this too, so I'm glad this is happening.
uh,
Is it potentially Kurik?
yes, correct. Her arms are crossed and her fingers are drumming on her own arm as they're folded in her chest, and she's almost scowling at you.
No scowl today? You seem to be in a good mood.
What took you so long
To what?
to say hi?
Mm, I didn't realize that was required.
No, but some people consider it polite.
You know, polite's never been my thing.
Yeah, I know. She wraps her knuckles on the chunk of wood and then pulls out a whittling knife and extends it to you, hilt first.
Ooh, never really been one for weapons, have I?
It's not a weapon. Please get to work.
I mean, in my hands, anything's a weapon.
Oh, you're so scary. She drives the knife into the wood.
I don't suppose I have a specific time frame to complete this in. I can do this at my own pace.
Yeah, but the services of the Nightingale aren't just for flakes. And her eyebrow kind of flicks at Miki, who's next to you, who's pretending not to pay attention. But you already know that she's nosy.
Yeah, well, and she'll grab the whittling knife and pull it out. I'll get right on it. And then she puts it right down on the table very softly. You don't mind, Mickey here and I were working on something, weren't we, Mick?
Yeah,
I call her Mick. She's my friend.
yeah.
I will stare at Kurik until she walks away.
She doesn't wait for long. She says, it's a gift. You're supposed to take care of it and yourself and show respect. We're trying to build something here.
She will slowly grab the knife. Better.
She the near scowl softens just a little bit, and she uncrosses her arms as she turns and leaves.
Mentors, am I right?
What am I?
Oh, that's huh. I mean, I guess I kind of saw us as equals, but you have been teaching me a lot. I guess that does make you.
Yeah, you'd kind of still be just making people sick if it weren't for me.
I mean, I could make them better if I did.
Why are you learning how to use a poisoner's kit then?
Hmm. I miss the days when I could help people, and I thought maybe if I could learn how to help people with poisons, that might be a way that doesn't negatively affect me anymore. Why are you learning? Is there some bad person in your past that you want to get back at?
You got it.
Really? Tell.
No, that's my thing.
Uh, Fine, keep your secrets. Hey, do you have like friends outside of here, right?
Outside here, and she circles the room. Finger circles the room.
Yeah, like outside the dining alley. I assume you know people.
Oh
These,
yeah, yeah. I
like,
mean, my cousin's in the captain's court, and through him, I know some people in the Luxtron Corps. Uh, I have some family back south.
yeah. I'm thinking of the non-goblin sort.
Oh, uh, I mean, there are elves in the captain's court. Drow. Is that what you mean? Do you mean outside of Luskan?
I mean, it could be outside of Luskin, but also inside of Luskin. It's not location specific. It's more race specific.
Okay, well, you've put me on the spot. Now I feel really weird.
Do you not have a lot of non-goblin friends?
I mean, people that I know through the captain's court, but I mean, most of the people that I spend time with are here or on my street, you know?
Yeah. How much have you told them about denying ale?
I mean, it comes up. And I think that people who are in the court, members of Brigandarth, even some of the core members, um, they're sympathetic, you know? A lot of them have generational histories with maybe not this, but other things. It's kind of similar. The whole Spider Queen thing, a lot of drow, even some who live here were people who left the Underdark with that being their like childhood faith, you know?
Yeah. I'm just, mm, I'm kind of wondering because I haven't had a ton of friends at all, and I just started with this group a while back, and I'd consider them friends now, and I kind of told them everything. And I'm just wondering, like in the past, what have you been your experiences with telling people?
I think most people are better than you think and understand that things happen and everyone's only got so much time in a life anyway and can be sympathetic to what can be the hardships that are just kind of the draw of the cards, right?
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I'm kind of worried that they're gonna look at me differently, you know? I'm worried that like they're gonna pity me, and I'm fully capable. There's nothing stopping me from doing what I did before. I'm still the same person as I was the day before I told them, but I just, how do you tell someone something like that and expect them to look at you the same?
I mean, that's kind of easy.
Is
Um, yeah, I mean, everyone's got something that makes them weak, right?
yeah,
And being honest about what that weakness might be is just a way that someone else has the opportunity to defend that weakness.
I'm just wondering if I made the right choice.
I mean, what are they going to do with that information that could be harmful?
I don't know. Look down on me.
I mean, you said they're non goblins, right?
Yeah.
So they
I
kind of
mean,
probably
one's kind of close, but
just have to tilt their head down to see you anyway, huh?
I see what you did there. Hey, can I tell you a secret since we're so close?
Her ears noticeably lift.
Are we at a table with other people?
Maybe like two other people who've noticed like the small scene that occurred a moment ago, but have since lost interest.
Okay, cool. So then I'll just get like super close and I'll be
Uh,
whispering in her ear, but obviously I'm not whispering in real
right.
life. I'm trying not to be heard.
uh,
I found a cure. I mean, it's not exactly what I thought it would be specifically, but I think I think there might be a chance to not be like this anymore.
really?
Yeah, it's unfortunate though. I mean, it's nothing we can do in particular. There's no like magic tincture or anything like that. It unfortunately has to come from the gods, and obviously they haven't done shit yet. But supposedly it can be taken away with divine intervention. That's why I told them. They found that answer for me.
That's. I don't know why you're worried about them. I don't know hurting you if they went out of their way to find something something that big. I mean, no one's had an answer like that for like 150 years or whatever.
Yeah, but that's hope, right?
Oh yeah.
That's that means something. That means things can actually change for us.
I mean, would we still get to do the things we can?
I mean, I'm not sure, but wouldn't it be worth it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it can be painful, but there's still good that can come of it. It's unique. I mean, what? They get to laud sorceric blood and draconic ancestry for thousands of years, and something like that happens to us, and it's a little bit weird and maybe not right, but do we want is do you want to get out of it?
I want a normal life. I want the promise of a full one. I don't think this comes at a cost. You don't see that?
I
This
see that,
it's
but
not worth it.
I mean, she kind of leans a little bit closer to you and she says, I mean, I know who you are.
Hmm,
I- I've
but
I've met your mom here before.
so I've made a name for myself. Perfect.
I mean, you weren't giving yourself a good opportunity for a long, healthy life anyway.
That's because I had nothing else to do with it. But now I might. I don't know, maybe I'll be like a boring merchant or something like that. But at least I get to live. Sorry, I'm
Some
still
of
listening.
us, I mean, some of us get along just fine day to day.
But for how long? Is
If
it
it's
really?
divine intervention that could fix it, I mean, maybe that's something that's worth looking into.
Yeah.
If it matters that much to you anyway.
Yeah, I got a friend. She's gonna look into it for me. I think this really could be it.
Well, if it's what you want, you should try it.
It's what I want for all of us. It's not that simple. It can't just be me.
No, probably not, but I'm sure that I mean, the instructors here care about the work they do.
They're
Not
just
just giving people support and love, but a safe place to live, have a community, and exercise their power.
it's a community through shared trauma. They're making the best out of a shitty situation.
I mean, you don't have to come.
I guess that's true. Whatever. This is a waste anyways. She'll take whatever potion she was creating and she'll pour it in the jug. She'll take a big swig of it in front of everyone. Kind of
Oh, make me a con save.
absolutely. I'm really hoping I fail this too. 'Cause I wanna damn it!
Damn it! I wanted you to throw up so bad.
I wanted to stumble out of here. Um, yeah, as she starts to walk away, she, stops, she turns around, she grabs the lumber and the knife, and she just kinda, like, looks at Nick for a second, kind of angry, kind of disappointed, and then she'll walk out. And I
Okay.
assume that does not count towards my poisoning days since I left early.
You know what? You make that call. I think that's fair.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I won't count it. Then she will head towards, Dallas Corner to meet up with, other people.
All right, with your block of wood and a knife.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's roll another die. Doo-doo-doo. Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Haza spends the day like not at this point because it's even required for the money, considering the amount of payments that she's dropped on him, but just spends the day like, doing the being different people
Mhm.
thing to like drum up business.
Okay.
It's at
Uh,
this point it's like a comfort thing, it's been a bit.
it's a good faith gesture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just do
Uh,
some other stuff.
yeah, sounds good. I think that does mean you see Inks crankily walking in with a big piece of wood.
Yeah, I think on this
And the beer.
particular day, Haza is also doing like outfit switching, but they're all like threadbare and shitty because they're kept in a trunk in her room. Just like a range of like costume outfits. I think Haza probably like doesn't immediately make herself known to Inks, just tries to see if Inks
Sidles up
can,
as a stranger.
yeah, just see if Inks like notices, right? Like out of curiosity.
I don't think the Inks can, because if you're in
No,
different clothes and in a
yeah,
changeling form, like the different person, like I don't think a perception check is gonna cut it.
probably not. Does it stop Hazer being like, no, they'll be able to like, see the real me if they just look hard enough.
Oh my god.
And then just spending all day not being seen. I think it's also just good practice to actually practice the changeling muscles, because
Mhm.
that's not a thing she does very often. Like earnestly trying to be, even though these people are imaginary, earnestly trying to be another person is an exercise.
All right. Great. Anything else you seek through the day?
Um, Short of asking Inks if they want to go for a run in the evening, probably like looks like just I probably just looks like a normal like human dude walking up and
You want to
saying,
go for a run?
want to go for a run?" And
Sorry,
then like
I'm
smiling and holding a hand out so that the sword drops in their hand
uh,
and
still
wiggling it.
still drinking from her cup, not even looking up, just hearing the voice and saying, "Sorry, I'm not taking gentlemen callers today."
I'm flattered.
You should be.
Switches voice, but okay, so I need to go practice running in my armor. Do you want to do that?
What the fuck? You
What?
can't just you can't just come up with somebody else.
I've been here all day. I've been 3 different people.
Are you new to changing?
No.
Are you new to friends?
Newer.
Single tear rolls down Hayes's cheek.
No.
No.
I'm gonna go put on my armor and go for a run. You can join me if
Fine.
you want.
I just gotta hydrate first, and she'll
Just
finish
yeah,
the mug.
half water, half beer on the next one.
Yeah, she'll go run with you. She's probably gonna stay as far ahead of you as possible this time, though.
Well, it's gonna be easier because explicitly Hesa is running in her armor.
Perfect.
Like, gotta get used to it. The weight's all different.
Clank, clank, clank.
It is just a lot of clank, 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 thud, 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 thud.
Okay. Do-do-do. Toric, you have any plans for your day as you're back in town?
I think there's still a couple days left, but I had put in a special order with Nick and Nax, so I will go double check the status on that.
Yeah. Do not have that ready yet.
That's okay. I think there's 3 days,
Mhm.
if my math is correct.
I do have the special order, but I don't have it ready yet. So I think that's fine because time wise, it's not ready. So you know what? I'm putting at the top of my notes. Make sure that this is finished.
But beyond that, nothing that I can think of. He will spend some time working on the things brought back from um, the manor, whose actual name
Moonvale?
Moonvale Manor. Thank you.
Mhm.
Whether it's making rounds or um, the actual gun.
Yeah, I think in part of like the like study and disassembly that you're kind of working through to scale everything to your size and such, you do like find that this item had some like runic charms carved into some of its copper tubing, but all of that is like built inside of it, so it did require like getting pulled apart to find those. You don't immediately recognize what those runes may be, um, but you do see something enchanted on this.
That I didn't expect. This place has got to have a library, right? Who do I know that lives here? Well, Inks doesn't seem like much of a bookworm. I guess I'll go find Oz. Mel, what are you doing? You gonna be around here today?
Yeah, just finishing up the reports from the Hand of Light. Need me to come with? I'm kind of
I just making sure, like, if you're going out somewhere, leaving town or something, follow along, do
leaving
this later. Look,
leaving
I don't know
town.
what you got going.
She kind of points at Torque and gestures the party. Remember, it's kind of my thing to keep tabs on you guys.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna go see one of the other party, so it's
I'll come with. You're looking for a library, right? Might as well check it out. Haven't gotten a good study on for a while.
I'm just gonna go find Oz. Wait, is he staying at his dad's or is he here?
That's a great question.
Oz would probably show back up late morning, early afternoon. He stayed at neither of those locations. He stayed at the Tower Breakers HQ.
Oh, hey, Oz, welcome back. There's a library in this town, right? You're from here.
Well, there's a couple libraries in this town. What sort of information are you looking for?
Runes. Magic runes. Gotta figure out what these do. What they're for.
All right. Well, look, the first place I'd check isn't technically a library at all. It's a private collection over at the Tower Breakers place. But if you'd
Wait,
rather,
hold on. Back that up a second. It's what now?
well, the Tower Breakers have a collection of books.
A private collection, you said.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, they own them, but I'm taking you to go look at them. So if you would like to have a look, that's fine. If anyone would like to have a
Appreciate it.
look, that's fine.
I feel like you're searching for irony in a statement where there is none, Torque.
I mean, there is to me. How did the Tower Breakers get their names? breaking down the private collections of wizards. They got the private. It's the terminology.
No, well, technically, it's not breaking down the private collection of wizards. We believe people are allowed to own things. It's wizards that refuse to share their secrets, whose
So
towers
they
we
can
wreck.
own them, but you know what? I am not going to look this gift horse in the mouth. I'm not going to look this gift weasel in the teeth. I don't know. Let's, by all means, I will be very grateful to avail myself of the library that you have available.
And
We can table this discussion for another time.
likewise, I won't try and figure out whether or not you just called me a weasel. Shall we go?
As he climbs onto Pekareva, it's okay. It's okay. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He didn't know it was a compliment. He doesn't know how special you are. It's okay.
You can, yeah, Oz can take you to the Tower Breakers. I think given what was just stated, this is probably around noon, a little after when you arrive. There are some like young academics who are also here studying, and Cran is here to offer her services in search. She'll direct you to the library. Um, uh, is there anything you're directly looking for that I could help you with?
I will produce the. I will produce the sketch of the rooms. Which surely I would have made a sketch instead of bringing the broken down gun with me.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. You can present them to her. She'll put some reading glasses on and inspect. She says, "Actually, I should be able to tell you what these are. Uh, these are."
Wait, do I have Arcana trained? Sorry, carry on.
I don't know. I thought you just had a history. So um.
I sure don't. Okay.
Okay. Great. These are incorrectly arranged, but these are in fact runes of animation.
Huh.
Huh.
Did you find these somewhere?
Yeah. I found him on the inside of a weapon taken from Moonvale Manor.
Fascinating. Yeah, they wouldn't have worked, but somebody tried to make this, whatever you had, functional device of its own accord.
That's scary.
This thing would have shot it on its own, not shot itself. That's a whole other sentence. Fired it on its own, huh? That's
If it had been correctly implemented. She grabs a pen and begins making like small corrections to the arrangement. She says, "No, to enchant it properly, it would also need to have been imbued with an arcane force of some kind, raw magic, wherever that might be found, either draconic in its nature." She kind of gives you a nod, Torek. Or if there were another form of enchantment provided by a stronger magical item or a particularly good caster imbuing the power. These runes by themselves do nothing on their own without work put into them. But if they worked, then uh, they would function correctly until removed.
question about the function. Would it fire on its own, like have sort of like a automaton's will? Like you can like give it orders, or would it be more just like a it senses something and then fires or animates or such like?
Well, most cases, weapons that are designed to move of their own are taken orders. You provide instruction or guidance to an item, and it will perform to the best of its ability. However, there are very few intersections between animated weaponry, specifically, and intelligent weaponry. Sentient items certainly exist in this realm, but only phenomenally great powers are capable of conceiving and creating them. And I do not, in my history anyway, have ever come across, either in lore or in practical life, an animated and intelligent weapon.
Just out of curiosity, does your library have any information on such intelligent weaponry, like sentient weaponry?
Well, there might be some here. The rotation that we take with Candlekeep might have something. There's plenty of stories, particularly about a good number. Most have to do with being wielded by people who went on to become legendary after after their own fashions, warriors and god-blessed creatures, individuals. Weapons either then buried with them or passed on to extant family who have either carried on glorious names or have faded into secrecy and privacy.
Right.
Notoriously, I believe, actually, the Blackstaff, both the tower itself and the wand of the mage, could likely be defined as sentient, though it is, from what I understand, more of an intersection of sentient souls mirroring within the tower and echoing in the staff itself. But that would be a question directly for the Blackstaff himself.
Understood. I do want to keep a pin in that. While we're here, I want to go searching.
Yeah, okay. You'd be able to find some like common histories about some more popular or like famous uh, sentient weapons. Um, they're I do not know enough of them to be able to like provide you like a context, but like
I was kind of going. My search was gonna take me somewhere specific.
okay, yeah. What do you think?
And that specific place was sort of getting the idea, and I guess from Mel's background, she knows that it's, she's heard of sentient weapons probably,
Hmm.
like being given to people.
Hmm.
Something that kind of matches the spec of Haze's whole deal,
Hmm.
because she's very curious about where that comes from and would do research on any sort of like god or entity, as it were, that might be able to give such power and that manifests that way.
Okay. Um, I will let you roll. I'll make this still a roll then. Let's do a history check, and you'll get advantage from the librarian who's here.
Come on, history.
Okay.
18. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Most prolific as far as sentient weapons go. Their crafting predominantly does come from the Shadowfell.
Yeah, I knew that answer out of character.
Yeah. But as you're like, I'm not saying I don't know how long you want to like dedicate time here, but like light skims through certain texts would enlighten you fairly clearly that based on the powers and like forms taken by these weapons, that clearly is not the kind of weapon that Haza is master of.
Yeah.
What you do find, however, I'll let the 18 carry this along, is that in the same capacity that uh, the Raven Queen crafts these weapons, it's not unheard of that mirror planes, the other mirror plane of the material, uh,
Mhm.
can like it would be the what's the word? It would be up to the discretion of Archfey to create their own uh, sentient weapons if they so chose to. Um, um, you find with an 18 that like this particular manifestation of weapon that you've kind of seen with Haza, with her story about how, and also just kind of how she has wielded it and its force that it has like conjured that you've been able to witness, um, uh, belongs to. Hmm. I'm not going to say I don't know that with an 18 you know where it comes from, but there has been a history of other proprietors who have taken a weapon similar to that which Haza wields. It's been described in different cases in different ways, but it typically does appear as either a broadsword or a long sword, um, uh, and does have like a terrific like elemental force to it. These people usually find themselves incidentally like they find themselves to become adventurers, and specifically like warriors and arcane combatants. Um, like people take this particular calling fairly seriously that you see
Gotcha.
on like the maybe like 3 or 4 recorded noted like mentions that you see of it through the small resource library that you've got.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Torek, with the information you've gained, is there anything you'd like to do or ask or inquire about?
Um, Nothing off the top of my head. I'm sure something will come to me.
Okay, no problem. Oz, while we kind of have you up to plate, what are you up to, or what have you been doing maybe the night before if something brought you to the Tower Breakers?
The night before, I would have just gone to the Tower Breakers, uh, shown off uh, the brass dragon rapier,
Mm-hmm.
made comment that the hilt sort of functions like a spell storing ring, and seems like someone probably took great care in crafting it I'm surprised to have just found it out and about. Um, doesn't seem like a standard issue piece of equipment. So I'll ask Cran to sort of put a request in to the Tower Breakers and see if they have anything on record of this exactly or of anything similar. And then the rest of the evening, just reading, getting some shut eye.
All
The
right.
plan was to go then hang at Dallas Corner upon getting up, but have obviously been taken on um, a detour back to the tower.
Okay. Yeah, I think your missive is going to get sent like via post,
Mhm.
so that will be a little bit before you have a response.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And then you're brought back. Is there anything else you do in that day or time?
Well, I mean, once back at Dallas Corner, it sounds like the first thing I do is uh, grab myself some food and a drink and ask Inks, what's what's with the piece of wood?
It's a gift, apparently.
A big ass piece of wood is a gift. What are you supposed to do with it?
Whittle it down into something useful. Yeah, it's not a very good gift if it comes with a chore.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been given a task. I
Yeah,
mean,
mentors are dumb like that.
oh, so this is PT. I understand. Got it.
I'm supposed to make it into a stupid mask. It's something that kind of distinguishes the Nightingale from others. It's a sign of prominence. That's probably not the right word for it. Whatever. It's a sign. A symbol, rather.
Hmm.
Any ideas? I was thinking of making it scary. Just to piss her off.
Don't know. I'll give it some thought. I gotta say, this whole Nightingale thing, it's a bit confusing.
Oh, so?
Um, I'm not sure what you're doing here.
Mm, hanging out with you guys. Trying to figure out what our next move is.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't I be here?
Well, you seem to make a pretty big deal over the fact that you're dying.
I like to think it's a pretty big deal.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're aware of it, Inks, but we're all dying.
Sure. But what does your death look like?
I don't know. I know it's about 10 years sooner than it was going to be before I started hanging out with this crew.
I think that's the difference. I know what my death looks like, and that's why I'm not here. That's why I'm with you guys.
Well, I understand you think you know what your death looks like. Your death was almost getting swallowed by a giant frog, and
Multiple
it was
times.
almost getting swallowed by a giant fish.
Still better ways to go. Not that. Thank you for saving me. I didn't want to die like that. That's a bad way to die.
So, am I to understand you have a death wish then?
I don't have a death wish, no. I'm just trying to live life to its fullest. I figured fighting in
Oh,
the rings wasn't exactly the best way to to use the best of my abilities, so I figured throw it in with Luxius.
got it.
See where that takes me. It's
So
not
it
about the
sounds
death,
like,
Oz. It's about the life.
well, I'm happy to hear that. still a bit confused why you'd voluntarily continue to put yours at risk, but ultimately that's your decision. It does sound, however, that you're up for doing some more work for Loxius.
Absolutely. Ready when you are. We all seem a little bit hesitant on this new mission.
Well, I mean, I think there are a lot of options as to what happens next.
True.
So is the plan just to work for Loxius until you make enough money to kick back and relax?
I guess I haven't thought that far ahead.
Oh, so okay, no, that I understand that. So the plan is more just do something exciting tomorrow, or at least more exciting than what you did today.
Pretty much. It's a great way of putting it.
I got it.
She will start angrily stabbing at the block of wood, but like
You know,
along the. She's not stabbing the middle of it. She's stabbing like the edges to kind of create like somewhat of a face, but this is
oh
very
nuts.
clearly an act of aggression.
Oz is picking up his drink and sort of backing out of the booth as he says, "Yeah, I'm not sure that's how woodworking works." And just goes to sit at the bar.
Okay. Where does that leave Hyacinth?
Yeah, I think pretty early on in the day, Hyacinth, like before coming down or out of the room or anything, sits with like the Dreamwood on their lap and pulls out a little square of silk, and then begins to like incant a little, and the silk like floats up and then pulls apart into all of its like threads, and the threads just kind of like wrap around the staff. And I'm just going to like regularly every morning cast Nystel's magic aura on the staff
Oh,
to make it
okay.
seem like it is a non-magical item. Um,
Okay.
and then beyond that, I think they just hang out, like hang out in the inn, kind of in the public space, um, not trying to venture off alone or like, get too far. Maybe they would have gone along on the run with Haza and Inks, but not really getting up to anything or anything in town.
Okay. Uh, then real quick with Mel, is there anything you're doing besides taking some time to read?
Uh, Not necessarily that I can think of. After Torek is done with his thing in the library and Mel's done with hers, I'd probably just want to go back to Dallas Corner and
Okay.
hang out and see if how the folks are doing.
Yeah, back at Dallas Corner. How is everybody doing by the evening?
How are the folks?
I'm
You
imagining
just
there's a bit of some wood chips and sawdust on the table.
yeah.
Mel will walk back in and be like, "Hey, Inks, what's up with the thing of wood?"
It's a stupid task. I'm sorry, it's a gift, whatever.
No, I think you had it right the first time. Are you like working on something? Like, what is it?
Well, I mean, it's wood right now, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is it supposed to be after your task is done?
A mask.
Oh, that's cute. What?
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
She kind of like looks it over at all like the chunks that Inks has been pulling out of it.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
pretty.
what's it supposed to be? Other than a mask, like what is it a mask of?
I don't know. Any ideas?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, usually masks are like, uh, I guess, is it like a ceremonial thing or is it an aesthetic thing? Like, what are we going for here?
It's sorry, I just got a DM. It's mostly ceremonial. It's a way to distinguish myself. It's something I've been putting off for a really long time, and because I decided to go and educate myself, I was found, and now I have to do this. Luckily, there's no amount of time, so I can take all the time I need, but it is something that's supposed to be done.
And you feel duty bound to do it.
I feel the sooner I get this done, the sooner I can have Kurik off my back.
I get that. Um, I don't know. Is there anything that you think like represents you? Like an animal or a beast or some sort of symbolism? I don't know.
I'm thinking a middle finger. Like, obviously not a literal middle finger, that looks stupid. But
Well, I mean,
something
if you
that
don't care what the mask looks like.
well, I have to wear it. But something symbolically that when I show up to those ceremonies, it's very obvious. Obviously a middle finger to the rest of them.
Uh, well, what do goblins hate the most?
Tall folk.
How big is this piece of wood?
Um,
It's probably like 2 feet by 2 feet, kind of like half of a block, like a wooden log that has been sliced in half.
Pick like the most like detestably off-putting tall folk visage that you can put in your mind and put it at the very top. Like don't carve the shape of it, just like put two holes for the eyes like at the very bottom so you can see, but like make the face at the very top.
oh, like seeing through the nostrils.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll be like 2 feet bigger than everybody at these meetings.
Hmm, I like that.
It will be very strange to have like a creepy wooden visage, but I guess the more off-putting, the better, right?
I mean, they're all pretty creepy in my opinion. The
What do
mask
they
makers.
usually have? Like
Um,
animals and things?
I mean, some I guess. That's not generally what people go for, but certain people, their gifts meant, like I said, their gifts manifest differently, and some are more connected to nature. So those people would definitely have animals, like their spirit animal or whatever, uh, as their mask. But I don't know. Normally, with gifts that manifest like mine, it's kind of an aggressive face, something to strike fear in the heart of enemies. Um, Not that they really have enemies or actually fight because they're cowards, but something aggressive.
Dang. I mean, wait. So, I mean, how did you get this hunk of wood anyways if you hate him so much?
She literally threw it in front of me. I didn't have
No.
a choice.
So you were there?
Oh yeah, I go there sometimes when I'm not with you guys. I'm trying to learn how to poison people.
Ooh.
Everyone looks suspiciously into their cups.
For one of you, that's going to be a really big surprise.
Will it though? Will it?
No, she drank her own poison earlier. It was fine.
You did turn it into alcohol, though.
I know. No, she's
Well,
very much lying about, and she's not a good liar, so she's very much lying about poisoning people for one of you.
well, I mean, why go back? There are plenty of places to learn how to poison someone.
Because this is free.
Can't argue with free.
Also, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to connect more with my community. I've been so detached from them for so long that now I'm kind of a pariah. And I guess I'm doing some like PR work on myself. And it's a good way to kind of reconnect with them.
And how's that been going?
I ran out on my first friend. I kicked over a chair.
That good, huh?
Yeah, about as good as I expected.
At least you had a friend, I guess, in the first place.
I mean, the fact that you say it as past tense is not very good for me, is it?
Well, got as in met and made one. I don't have any information to say that it is gone.
That's fair.
Although you're not making it sound very promising.
No, you're right. I should probably go apologize tomorrow. I'm gonna do this a lot.
Well, I mean, why did you walk out?
I didn't get the response I was expecting.
Oh, did you like did you kind of spit in the face of the whole gift of goblin kind sort of thing that you mentioned?
I mean, maybe, but it was more. I told her about you and what you're trying to do for us, and I don't know. She kind of pushed back on it, and I didn't respond appropriately.
Uh. um. Well, I guess since it's such a complicated thing, um, if and this is a big if, I was able to leverage some sort of favor and rid your kind of this ailment, I would kind of like the people who are super into this gift not to know about me.
Oh yeah, no, that's our deal. Oh my
Okay.
God, Mick. I haven't told him to stop researching yet. I have to go.
But
Thanks for the talk. It's really appreciated. Bye. And she'll run out.
Do you leave your block of wood?
probably at first and then comes running back for it.
I was gonna say yes, but now that June said that, she will make it all the way out the door, and then come right back in, grab that, and run back out. We don't have to RP it, but this is her telling Mac, "Hey, it's not gonna work out."
It's not you, it's me.
Just casual like, just like, hey.
I mean, if we want to go down that RP mode, I know we don't have much plans.
The thing is I don't really know what his reaction to that would be, and I've been thinking about it for a little while, and so it would just kind of just be like bland, like acceptance of what you're telling him. Or not bland, but I mean, it would be like the end of his life's work and shit. Um,
So not soul crushing at all.
um, yeah, I don't know that I unfortunately don't think there's not enough to play that wouldn't just be like kind of
Yeah.
sickly melodrama, I think. Um, but I don't think he has it's not a positive response, just not a whole lot he can respond with.
Yeah. And then after that, she'll make her way back to Dallas Corner to continue stabbing at our wood.
Okay. So yeah, Inks is gone for about 45 minutes.
I'm very fast, and I know the secrets of the city.
This is true, but I just assumed that it would
Dog.
take you more than a minute to talk with him.
Inks just like raps on the door, opens and is like, "Hey, sorry, your life's research totally meaningless. I got a god on my side, maybe, and I'm gonna do that instead. Okay, bye. Have
Bye.
fun."
I'll see if we can.
Runs back to Dallas Corner. No response.
She runs out the door. The door closes. She reopens the door, and maybe bring you back to normal. Closes the door.
While I was out briefly, I did a roll to see how well I was doing. And the answer is I just haven't been in the bar all day. No
Yes.
Haza here.
As far as anyone could tell, with a natural 20 to a 29 on Hayes' deception check, Hayes has just been not here. Hayes has been gone until Hayes appears abruptly.
Where the hell were you?
Oh, I've been here all day.
Oh, were you doing the thing where you change your face to do the thing to drum up more business, make it look like more people are coming in?
Partially, yeah. It was also just to practice in case I need to be someone random. If we're doing political shit, it might be necessary.
Disguise powers.
I mean, for the record, I'm not gonna be anybody that like we know or we've seen. I only kind of, do approximate. Let's go with approximations. Amalgamations.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because if you're just totally like someone totally new that you made up, there's no chance of, me walking in and being like, "Hey, wait a minute. You're not me." Doppelganger
Yeah.
style.
It also cuts down on the, blood feuds and revenge substantially. So what you doing with the block? You've just kind of been hitting it all day.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I'd be gone for longer. Oh my god, it's a gift and a task all in one. Torek,
Fine.
this is a gift and a task.
But you haven't.
Hyacinth around.
Why are you telling me this?
I've been dying to ask, and I overheard a little bit, but you're not you're not whittling it right now. You're just stabbing it, and that's not the same thing. You're just hacking it.
Oh gee, thanks for the wonderful insight.
It's like you gotta shave it.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually. I'm cutting out a face, obviously.
Well, that was you cutting a
Should put a-
face.
Should put a pair of legs
God.
sticking out of the mouth.
Oh, yeah, that'd be.
Is that what that was?
It's a
I
work
don't
in
know I'm saying it
progress.
should be though. Inks can finally be the one eating stuff. Eh?
that-
Oh.
Wait, you weren't. That's not what that is. Like points to the middle of the block.
It's. I'm workshopping.
Right.
Whatever. I've never seen any of you make a successful mask. All right, so I don't
Hey,
know
I'm
if I'll
not
be taking.
judging.
I don't know if I'll
Point
be
of
taking suggestions anymore. Thank you.
order. Depending on what the definition of a mask is, I make the most successful mask.
I don't think that counts. I think she means like something you wear. You're
Oh,
not really
yeah.
wearing your skin unless we want to get really philosophical.
It
And
feels
I'm
like
a bit
wearing.
tired.
How's everybody else's day been?
Books.
Yep.
Books? Anything good?
Eh.
Eh,
Okay, rude.
That's not encouraging.
I mean, simple fact is I didn't actually make it to the books. I got all my questions answered before I made it to the books. So
That's okay. That kind of rules.
yeah. I mean, what's her name? Oz?
Kron.
Kron. Yeah. Kron.
C-R-A-N.
Yes, with a C.
Cran. Okay.
Kron.
She'll just answer any questions you have.
Well, I mean about the runes I found. Yeah.
She's an educator. That's what she does.
Oh, I'm definitely coming with next time.
Hey, I got nothing but respect for Cran.
Kron.
I don't have Oz's accent.
Yeah, no, he's saying it right. Kron. Where have you been all day, Isa?
Currently here, but not here.
Here, but not herself.
Sounds like a way of saying, skiving
Right.
off.
Well, glad you're here now.
Cody, did you go AFK again?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, seeing
So,
as how we're all here, maybe we should discuss what we're doing tomorrow, or perhaps the day after that.
I mean, do we want to take the high intrigue sort of political wheel and deal job?
I mean, if we can do jobs that keep us near here, I've got an appointment with Nick and Knack in a couple days. But beyond that,
I mean, our other options are what at the moment? Treasure hunting?
Sounds like it, but I feel like we've gotten quite a bit of treasure recently.
is that so? I'm gonna need some of that money you owe me then, because said project with Nick and Knack took up most of my cash.
I owe you money.
Yeah, for the bag of holding, I lent you 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
I don't need all of it now, but
How
he will
much?
pull out
Hey,
he will pull out a coin purse that has
really
8
need to
total
keep
coins
like a
in it.
ledger of who all owes who, so that way occasionally you can just go over the head of the person that you owe the
No,
money to the
I
next
just-
person in line and pay them back directly.
I'm not ever putting pressure on you, Mel. It's just right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 platinum and 6 silver to my name.
Doesn't
also-
somebody owe
If something comes up, just if something comes up.
Also, I'm not worried. If Hyacinth dies, I'm just stealing the sword.
You mean the stick?
Oh, stick, excuse me.
Where were you when Jack died again?
Sorry, what was that?
No, it's a bad joke. I said, where were you when Jack died again?
Oh, I heard inject died, like injected, and I was like, those aren't words. I heard that wrong.
Don't worry, Torek. I thought it was funny.
It has now
Y'all are the
become
locals.
more important that I don't die. Um,
Oh, now it's important.
more important. Look, I have every intention of settling any debts that I have. Um, on that point, I think taking the job doesn't sound like a bad idea.
It is certainly a change of pace from, I mean, I guess we did do like a dinner date, but then it did turn into a fight. So
Um, I'd like to kind of address the elephant in the room, and probably the reason for at least my apprehension to doing this. Every single job that we've taken that has been supposedly, you know, a peaceful gig, or at least something that involves diplomacy or just a simple escort, never ends up being such.
I don't know about you, but I prefer it that way.
I
Wait,
mean, it
that's
definitely
that.
makes it more interesting, but
Wait, that's the elephant in the room.
I mean, it's probably why we didn't just say, "Yeah, sign us up."
Well, then,
What's an
everyone,
elephant?
I believe we're in a room with multiple elephants.
All right,
Um,
air your grievances.
well, it's not a grievance so much as a question. The last person who had one of these artifacts from the Feywild was murdered and their body
yeah,
left in the Illisk ruins. What
true.
exactly is our plan with the Dreamwood? Or I should say, what is your plan with the Dreamwood, Hyacinth?
Well, I mean, as I went over yesterday, it's uh, keep my head down and continue until I come across a Fey crossing that is not blatantly obvious or one that I have used before.
Yeah, we did discuss this, and I feel like most of us, or
Disgust
at
is probably
least,
a generous word.
yeah, I think we, at least I, and probably Oz, brought up the fact that this is a priceless, dangerous artifact in your possession, and it puts us all at risk, and the sooner we're out of its company, the better. But you insist that the best way of finding a Fey crossing without being, how you put it, conspicuous, is to just keep on doing jobs that put us in danger. Which, in my opinion, doesn't sound too great on paper or in practice, but that's yet to be seen.
Well, my instructions were to do as I have said and keep my head down and wait until I come across a crossing. If you think that it is unsafe for all of you to travel with me while I do that, then I guess I will have to leave.
If I recall, you relayed your instructions as being not to use a crossing that you've used before. Finding a new one wasn't out of the question, and doing it post haste was also not specified. So, what's stopping us from just finding a place where you're not familiar with but has a Fey crossing?
I mean, that would be the goal. There aren't many conspicuous Fey crossings that I'm not familiar with. And as this, as is said in the statement, I am not familiar with any that I am not familiar with.
So it's mainly a question of I guess we could go, although that is makes us more conspicuous. Go around and try to ask for somebody who might know where Fey crossings are, like maybe the Tower Breakers would know. At least give us a direction to go.
Well, I mean, I'm fairly certain the Tower Breakers could get us to the Feywild. But I mean, it sounds like, Hyacinth, you are to do as you've been instructed with this object.
If we're going to continue doing, is there, I don't know, is there some way to mask the 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 Dreamwood? Make it look or seem like something else?
I do not have a way to make it look like something else, but I have already got an enchantment on it uh, to suppress its magical aura. No one would be able to see it with detect magic, or
You
see
have
that
to
it is anything more than a stick.
you have to remember that there is somebody in an organization that also wants it that might have been involved with the murder of Jack that knows who you are and has
Yeah,
met
Mel,
you and
I
seen
think
you.
I think
Very
Hyacinth's got that one.
Yes, but masking whether you have it or not doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
They know you.
It is
Yes, I mean that
largely
means that I could be scried upon. It means that if someone, if Owl, who has been up close and personal with it, is close enough and tries to locate objects. I mean, yeah, it's not an impenetrable defense, but
The only concerning part is that they operate within the city. And, I mean, granted, we might be taking more, I suppose, expeditionary jobs from Loxius, but the one currently that we have on the docket is. I don't think we're going to come across a Fey crossing during that contract. Or word of one.
That job is here, right? He wants us to go over to head of ship Kurth with him or something.
yeah. Which, I mean, that could be a relatively quick and easy job. I know she
Doesn't
like
require
pounds on
much
the
travel,
table.
so
She pounds on the table in front of her, knock on wood. I know that by saying that, it inevitably won't be simple. But if he just wants us to act as, I don't know, some mixture of heavies and diplomats, that should be reasonably quick.
Kind of like that manor jamboree.
Well, that was reasonably quick. It just was also the travel took more time than the horrible dinner party, post dinner party. So we could do this job as a stalling action while we wait for either new information or for a job that takes us out of town.
I mean, Jax was killed in town.
yeah, he was also on his own. Not
Which,
to besmirch his fighting ability or anything. And if it was somebody from, it may have been somebody that was able to put Jack off his guard. We don't have to worry about that. We know to be on guard against everybody.
I mean,
Yeah, but
Not that I don't want that thing gone, but
I mean, I hear you, Torek, and I do have faith in everyone's ability here. But some of us have more people to worry about than just those sitting around this table.
very true.
True.
how do you mean by that?
Well,
Families
my
here. I thought that
father
was
and
kind
my
of
sister
obvious.
live here. Owl knows my
Oh.
face.
Sorry. I forget sometimes.
It's all right. Easy to forget.
Well,
I guess other option, which takes us on a travel quest to maybe find a fake crossing on the way, is to figure out whatever the fuck the Hand of Light are talking about.
that is fair. It has been interesting me quite a bit, considering, the sacked towns and all.
I mean, it might be a little bit above our pay grade to fight an army, but
Well, who said we'd need to fight an army?
okay, fight parts of an army. Maybe not the whole army at once. Guess we don't really know how many of the whatever are attacking.
That is fair. I suppose it would be in my best interest to go at some point and get a tally. I doubt anybody from my order has been that way since, the towns were invaded. Although, if you are looking for paying work, I don't know who would be paying us to investigate that.
Yeah, I don't think that one would be paid as much as it would be public good, but and also it does take us away from places that we've been and canvassing more of the world to maybe find one of the crossings. If we do the job in town, we do it specifically to get paid to leverage that for probably more magic stuff, for more power to be better equipped to deal with the Fey threats when they come, right?
I suppose then it comes down to whether we want to be on the defensive or on the offensive. Or rather, proactive or reactive, I should say. I tend to prefer the proactive option, but then again, I'm not really responsible for any sort of opinion here.
It is possible that number one, Al may stall in returning to their master and buy us some time, and two, that they may warn us before they come for us. Neither of those things we got in a promise or in writing, but I don't know. I like to think maybe because we did a kindness will be done back to us, which I know.
You know what?
Just that it sounds stupid.
What does?
Yeah.
Sounds like a real good way to be disappointed.
Yep. So, okay, the proactive option is to find somebody who might know of a crossing that Hyacinth does not know about and go there, right? That's the
Well,
quickest.
it's the quickest, but I'm not sure Hyacinth would be comfortable with the amount of the lack of discretion.
True.
The
Yeah,
proactive option would be to range out of this town where we know there are threats,
right.
maybe go and investigate what the Hand of Light was doing and combating, and perhaps find a Fey crossing out that direction on our own rather than sitting in here or directly asking anybody.
We see maybe if Loxius has any far-ranging missions for us.
That
It's
would be
possible if we are waiting a few days for something to come in or for a project to be done anyway, then something might materialize. I suppose we should ask when this thing is, because if we're going to wait several days for Torque's project, which, assuming it's a weapon, is probably worth it to do, so we're better prepared. Then, if the job that we're going to take
More of an
now,
implementer tool than a weapon, but carry on.
I mean, is it going to be useful to our survival?
Probably, yeah.
Then, yeah, it probably is worth it to hit that now instead of waiting, you know, eh, like a week or 2 weeks if we go out and come back. So between now and whenever that's finished, if the job is between then, we maybe do it because we're here. And also it keeps us from sitting around in an inn all day. And also puts us in places that might be better protected from intruders than anywhere else we frequent.
Oh, how do you figure that? I'm sorry. I think I missed
Well,
part of that.
mostly it's that, like, if we're going into some kind of wealthy, like, I don't know, wealthy crime and or just wealthy person thing, they have guards against people intruding, which might also include, you know, extra prime material travel.
Oh, you mean like Moonvale Manor?
I feel like while I
Yeah.
did bring that up last time, I do feel like that might have been a fluke, right? Please, somebody reassure me that that was just a weird occurrence of a very
Well,
weird eccentric.
it was a very specific artifact that there isn't a ton of in the world insofar as we know. So maybe that was
Right, but Hyacinth has another one.
right. Yeah.
Oh joy.
So, okay, Oz,
But
what
maybe
what
maybe you should take what I say with a grain of salt, because I seem to be the sore thumb here. I I didn't study with the Tower Breakers and sign on for 2 years with the military here, to become a mercenary to help private individuals secure and lock down magic items.
fair.
You
If
know,
you
yeah, go ahead.
no, it your ideological concerns are important.
Well, that is nice to hear. Um, I do appreciate it. I would have appreciated it a little more if they'd been considered before signing the last contract.
If you'll remember, I wasn't present for the signing either.
Well, there's plenty of people sitting around this table.
Sure are.
None of us signed your name onto the contract.
Very true.
Very true.
No, but we did take the contract for the group before consulting everybody, which
Understood. And
Oz is correct. We should not have done.
I appreciate it. I don't mean to be the fly in the ointment. It is good, lucrative work, and I hope you all enjoy it. Oz leaves.
All right. Let's take our 15-minute break.
Cool, dude.
This is
Thanks,
not
Max.
coming as a surprise to me, but I wanted to make sure that if anyone wanted. party remaining at Daleth's corner, Oz having at least walked out for the time being. Everyone else, with the conversation that you guys were having about what you're planning on doing next, do you have a decision for a direction you'd like to take?
Pff,
Mhm.
I feel like I can speak for a few of us in saying that we're just our characters would probably just be mostly struck by what just happened.
That's
We
fair.
really didn't make a deliberation beforehand. So no for me.
Yeah, no, as well.
Okay. If that is the case, what I think would be appropriate then is that you guys can all take your long rest. Tomorrow, you have you've all discussed at this point the different things you could do. You have the opportunity to go and speak with Lauxius about what's going on in town. Perhaps get some more insight there. You have discussed about Hyacinth and potentially taking them to a crossing, although they've made it fairly clear that that is not something that they are direly pursuing, particularly for, again, high traffic areas not being safe. So just waiting on the timetable of elves to move appropriately. And then there may be whatever leads or interests Toric has maybe taken, having stated that it would be particularly dangerous, but those are all potentials. So, the next day, if you all choose to meet, where are you going?
To be clear, when we meet, Oz doesn't show up, right?
That'd be correct.
No, he does not.
I mean, I would assume just downstairs at Dallas, right?
Hmm.
Um. Well, what's our move?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I might have been mistaken, but whenever I, joined in with this group and everything, I was under the impression we were mercenaries. Is that not correct?
Uh, I'm not. No, I'm just the record keeper.
Of a group of mercenaries,
Oh
people
yeah.
who do jobs for money.
Well, not necessarily. People who call themselves heroes do things for what was that word, Haza? Common good, public good. That one. All the time, and they get paid after. They don't, go for the fight the big dragons and things because someone hired them to, just because they sacked a town and usually are compensated or something. I don't know how these things work, but
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I am familiar with the concept of a hero. I just was not under the understanding that we were searching for altruism.
I think that's more or less the case, yeah.
but I mean, we want to do good when and
Right.
where we can.
A hero is not, I don't know, as far as I've ever known, someone who whose job it is to do good. I mean, it is someone who does good when the opportunity to do good presents it. Until then, they have their life, I suppose. I don't know. I mean,
Well, at this point I'd say we do the job in town, because if we can't make any decisions about what to do outside of town and we're locked, then that is the closest thing we have to a stalling action. So instead of talking about it anymore, I'll put it to a vote. All in favor?
This is to go talk to Laxius about the in-town job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Inks will raise her hand.
Yeah, his hand is up.
Hyacinth as well.
Any strong objections, Torque or Mel?
Nope.
None at all.
Great. And are we going to stop by and try to talk to Oz today, or...
I think our mistake was talking to Laxius without Oz.
Well, our mistake was signing the contract without odds. And that's
I think,
on. I think I was definitely part of the group that did that. We can
yeah, I
talk
meant
about
like,
a job with Luxius without actually agreeing to it.
To be clear, the mistakes thus far have been that, I mean, yeah, deciding to do a job without two of us being present, it upset him more than it upset me. And also, thus far, he's paid a higher price than any of the rest of us for any of our jobs. So, like, I kind of get why he might just want to, go be with his family, but he is a friend, so I'm at least going to check on him before we do anything else. Anybody's welcome to come with me if you feel like it.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah. I'll be with Torque.
To be clear, if you're wanting to come along out of some, I don't know, obligation, just don't. Only come along if you genuinely care.
I mean, I'm not going, but I hope that doesn't demonstrate that I don't care.
Yes,
That's
because I'm not chasing him down to make sure we're cool doesn't mean I don't care about the outcome of this situation.
Noted. I will let you know what happens. Just for the two of you that want to come along. Still game to come?
Mel looks at Torque.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right. I'm probably gonna start with his home and then Tower Breakers. Sound good?
Lead on.
We'll be back in a few hours.
I will be here whittling.
Yeah, try not to go anywhere alone.
The legs look good. Right around here. It's good
Uh, this,
work.
this time she's actually whittling now that like a somewhat circle has been cut out.
Okay. You can head towards the subdivision that you've been to in the past with Oz and his family. It is early in the day, but you do see that that means most of the people who are about their business have been at it for some time now in this area. Many people are either tending to their properties or are very visibly moving towards work on the opposite side of town.
To that end, Oz is out front doing yard work.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, approach the edge of the yard. Hey Oz.
Morning. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Ooh,
I'm, I mean, here to see how you're doing.
Well, I'm fine. How are you doing?
Not particularly good, but
Well, I don't see why. I mean, you seems like it was made pretty clear last night that um, the group wants to continue to engage in mercenary work and private contract work for Loxius, who is a private collector. Um, it's honest work. It's very good money. I don't blame you.
is it okay if I ask what you want?
Well, what I want is to protect my family, which is why I'm here. And it seems to me that the current circumstance we find ourselves in is that whomever it is that wants the Dreamwood that isn't a member of the Green Court knows that we all are involved. We know they've killed someone for another one of these artifacts. There's no reason to think that they wouldn't do it for this one. And it just so happens that my mother and my twin sister died when I was out investigating magical secrets. And I'm not going to let that happen to my father and my baby sister.
Okay, I understand. Doing this for that and for them, uh, yeah, I don't have any more questions. I just
Hey,
wanted to make sure that you weren't driven away.
We all make our choices, Haza, and I think it's just important that you're happy with the ones that you do. And, uh, I think we've just reached a point where if I were to choose something other than protecting my father and my sister, I'd feel pretty awful about it. But hey, I wish you all the best of luck. And look, if you need more information about the magical items or findings, by all means, stop by the Tower Breakers. Tran is an excellent educator and an excellent resource.
and if you ever have need of us, you know where to find us, or at least how to call us.
Uh, I guess, I mean, truth be told, if you're not at Dallas Corner, I guess I can try and locate you, Mel, through the church. But otherwise, no, I really don't. Oh,
She
almost
take
forgot. Oz will run inside and run back out, and initially goes to hand it to Mel, but then thinks twice and offers it to either Torek or Haza, and it's the brass dragon rapier. And he says, Yeah. I know none of the three of you really use the rapier all that much, but the handle does store a spell, and in case anybody goes down, I think you're going to want the spell that's in there.
I'll
I will.
take that, Haza, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, share a drink sometime.
Sure.
Yeah, Hazel, it's still not like stepping over the property line, like reaches out to shake your hand.
Yeah, Oz is warm, shakes everybody's hand that wants to.
I'll catch up to you two. I want to talk to Oz alone real quick.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
God damn pencils.
What can I help you with, Torek? And actually, quick question. Probably should have asked it sooner. Do you prefer speaking as we both stand, or would you prefer if I squatted or sat down so we could look eye to eye? I don't know if you have a preference.
Torek will pull up on seemingly nothing, and the ground will lift him to Oz's eye level.
Oh,
You
that's
are
a
the
much.
first person to ever ask that. I appreciate that more than I can ever say.
I'm so
You
sorry
have
it took so long.
no idea how just looking up at you all the time cricks the neck.
Oh God, it makes me worry about how well I've been blowing my nose.
Adam, I swear to God, if you make me cry for a character that my character doesn't care about, I'm gonna be kind of mad.
If it makes you
Cares
feel any better,
Cares about but wouldn't cry about.
that the whole makes me wonder about blowing my nose. Well, it's a long story. I won't get into it, but it has to do it has to do with Martin Scorsese's The Last Waltz, which I'm sure clarifies a whole bunch of stuff for everybody. Yeah. Sure. What? Like I said, I'm just sorry it took me so long, Torek. What can I help you with?
All right, I'm finishing the line in my journal. The job that Lauxius keeps talking about to the Anorax. None of the others know what it is. I was there when he was speaking to Lord Burkstaff. And essentially there is a you're a historian, you know who the Netherese were.
Mm-hmm.
Human wizarding civilization, had a bunch of flying cities. Well, one of their mythalars crashed in the Anorok, in my old home. Not into my home, but the Anoroks were my home.
Wait, is that a story or is that a fact?
That's a fact. There's a bunch of these things, and Lauxius wants us to find one eventually, because he wants access to the portals that are supposedly still active, but that means there's an entire city filled with Netherese magical secrets floating out there, and that's dangerous enough. And I know that Lauxius is going to push for that, but until this other situation is resolved, there's no way I'm taking that job. There's no way I'm letting them take that job. It's just too dangerous. Those secrets shouldn't be in Faerun to begin with. I'm not risking them falling into the hands of someone else. I think when I say someone else, you know what that means.
Oh.
On the other hand, there is basically a single organization that I would be willing to concede those items to for safekeeping. It's not going to be a fun trip. As much as I love the Anarok, it is a desert. It is pretty much the opposite of everything here in Luskin. So, if you think that's worth it, and you want to keep going with us for one last job, we can probably pick that up. If you want some time first, you can come back. If you want... Well, call's yours.
Look,
I haven't told anybody else what's in the Anorax. I haven't told anyone else what Lauxius is after. I don't intend to. I know that that's a little antithetical to my open book policy otherwise, but there's a significant danger there, and there is at least one dragon that makes their homes in the Anarok, and I cannot risk Asgaroth's children for that.
Well, I appreciate the faith you show by sharing this information. But I wouldn't be too concerned about your policy of openness. I don't think holding on to this information necessarily violates that. Everyone is entitled to share their personal details as they see fit. The job, quite frankly, sounds like a dream. To be the first tower breaker to explore these Netherese fallen cities, the magic that it contains, and detailing that it does sound wonderful. But my immediate duty still stands. I lost my mother and my twin sister because I put my own curiosity over their safety. I can't do that with the family I've got left. I know your pact, your commitment is with Mel, and I respect that and don't want to minimize it in any way, shape, or form, but if you could continue to try with whatever extra attention you might have to keep everybody else alive, I know I'd appreciate it. And then maybe if Ogma smiles down on us all, we'll get to join up again and take that trip out east, and you can teach me how to survive in a desert.
Understood. I can fully understand and respect the decision to keep your family safe. For what it's worth, that's something that I didn't really do either. I didn't die or anything, but like I've told you before, my home is gone.
Hmm.
So I get it. I get it. Well, if you change your mind, I'll check in before we ever head out to the Anorax. Probably won't be anytime soon anyway, so.
I appreciate that, Tor.
Stay safe, Oz. May the Dragon God keep you in the safety of his wings.
Thank you. You too. May Ogma grant to you that inspirational idea when you need it most.
I will catch up to everyone.
Okay. Are you remaining? When you collect those who have remained at Galith's corner, do you then go to Valxius?
Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to do that.
You
Yeah.
certainly can. Though the ever flaming candles in the building do not ever melt, you get the sense that they have been lit now, possibly through the night. And the anxious pacing of the Dragonborn within the building does not settle the impression. When you enter, he removes his spectacles and places them over the map that he does not cover as he did when you had last entered. And he looks at you expectantly. I should be clear. What we are about to discuss, not only is it of supreme secrecy, but it is also of a matter of political privacy, following that a significant amount of more sensitive historical value. There is more that I can tell you all, but it is the case. For whatever price I may purchase you and your efforts, both the literal threat of the objective and the intended direction I wish to take with any who are so willing, may draw the attention of powerful individuals. And though I ask for no commitment or signature yet, I feel it is only fair that I indicate with you, before we begin, the severity with which I would be introducing you to more information. Have you had time to consider?
I'm assuming you don't have any other, go out and get a magic thing and bring it back jobs.
Unfortunately, as was demonstrated at Moonvale Manor, there are in fact pieces of this world and others that have found themselves mobile, volatile, and attracting attention. So, as a matter of retrieving singular items and returning them for a cost, no. Unless, of course, it is that is all you are here for. Perhaps then we might be able to negotiate some more simplistic adventures, quests, whatever you may want them to be.
If we are going to engage with you in this increasingly dire situation, it might be good to start with what is in it for us. Does this help the world in some way, or is it just a lot of money?
My intentions are to help the world. If it is the case that it would require I pay you to do so, then I don't have any qualms doing so.
We are somewhat at an impasse in our own journeys for the moment and have just recently lost a number of our crew. But if you're asking, it means you're up against a wall.
I do not ask for signatures, but I do ask that whatever may be discussed here does not find its way into the desks of any prominent members of this or any other city-state on this coast. I understand arrangements may be made, and if it is that you will need to recruit someone else to your number to feel secure in your safety, I encourage you to do so and to be honest with them. However, this next thing that I ask of you involves a spy in the service of the High Captain's Court and his transport to a dangerous location so that you, and he points directly at Mel, may offer your internal connections to provide us, or rather you, and he gestures to the group of you, an adequate and simple, elegant transportation to a place very, very far from here. And with that, he gives not necessarily a pointed look at Torek, but you do feel his eyes on you.
I'm sorry, I just want to clarify. We are helping someone in the High Captain's Court. What? Escape Luskin?
That is correct. Unfortunately, is being pursued. It is someone who the High Captain's Court has within their service, and they wish very much for him to be taken from this city for his own safety. But
Okay, so the spy is for the High Captain's Court, not as in this. When you said in the High Captain's Court, you meant in the service of.
that is correct.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were working against Luskin all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
I tried to make sure I phrased that correctly, but I might have not given enough yeah, I'm not gonna give enough adverbs.
So our role here is to smuggle, then,
That is correct.
and to go where?
Southwards, along the coast, there is a city in the Underdark that he would find the most apt security. A dangerous place and a dangerous trip, but could be chartered on the water with relative simplicity, and so long as he arrives there and delivered to his caretakers before he is caught by his pursuers, then not only have we granted significant favor with the High Captain's Court themselves, but you would be, in fact, at the location at which Melixitha could perform a more substantial role. I am sorry, my dear, that under pretenses of a professional relationship, I have garnered the services of the House of Yergel, but it is in fact the case that since I had first exchanged pleasantries with you, that it was in fact my intention that you would find investment with this endeavor.
And this wasn't done through the temple, I am assuming?
My exchanges with them professionally through courier have been as intended for the purposes of my establishment. However, I made the choice to find one so local with connections as you had. That was deliberate.
And you mean for me to make friends with another chapter, I'm assuming, and garner their services?
You may not even need to do so. In fact, it is only that within their house uh, of of their own records that it is. There is a portal. It will take you exactly where I need you to go.
Is that you as in her, specifically?
Us. That was the general motion back in the summary. It will be
But
my connection that facilitates us to go where Loxias needs us to go. Am I correct?
That is correct.
so to be clear, this whole endeavor thus far and the missions we have gone on have been a hustle to build a shell around her.
I would say that I have been looking for anyone who has had a vested interest in this location. In fact, it would be, as Master Torek has more insight into, he himself is some familiarity with the location you would be transporting to. It is, I think, fortunate for all of you that the arrangement through the House of Yorgel would evade you from enduring the desert heat and the crystalline spires. With that in mind, I also understand that the location you will be traveling to also has access to many other places within it. And any of you who are looking to move off-world for any purpose may find that you have a path there. In addition, beyond all, guardian over this house, which I hope to find and hope to send you within, is a creature very ancient, undying, and undead, that is master over the artifacts within its own self-made and teleporting prison. And though that may not hold interest to all of you, I know that it holds interests to some.
I hope that your intention is not to diplomatize, because I will be bound to destroy it.
Far from it. That creature has been around for now thousands of years and deserves nothing more than to be put to rest, and whatever is within its keep to be salvaged.
Good. I'm game.
How were you able to find out so much about us?
The people who wander into guild halls are people who wear their identities on their sleeve. You each made it clear to me when we first spoke what it is you were here for. Some of you it was simply coin, but anyone could get a better, safer job within Luskan in security. You all chose to come here. You either wish vulgarly for violence, or admirably for heroics. In either case, I can offer both.
If we volunteer for this job for you, that necessarily has to be the end of the hustle.
Quite correct.
I will accept some amount of manipulation, especially as well done as it is, but past here we reach a different sort of relationship.
I agree.
And don't get me mistaken, not calling you a liar, but you can manipulate just as well with the truth as you can with falsehoods. Well, what does everybody think then?
I'm in.
If you had this portal to Ullerith the whole time, why did you need the map? Why did we even go to the manor?
I had no confirmation that the portal in Ullerith in fact led to the location in the Underdark, mastered by the House of Yergel. It was only speculation and fair rumor, and certainly the house and the temples within were certainly not going to provide such information, as archaic as it is, and that it is their soul-bound duty to defend it.
Yeah, but that's not on the map. I've seen the map. The map shows you where Ullerith is in the Anarok.
As well as many of its locations out and many of its portal locations outside. He gestures for you to come and look. It's still on the table.
I've seen it. I copied the whole thing. Remember?
I believe I did let I did let you do that, and I might not have stated where some of the like outside locations are, but like I had mentioned, like there's some scattered kind of everywhere. But it's obviously like really dense. I think I mentioned like color coordinated, like in Anarok it's red, and then there is other markings that are left outside, like on the coast, like it's a big fucking map. Um, so if I had not made that clear, I do apologize. but he had not like given you like a legend or tell about what some of it was.
And because they are honor bound to defend it, would us crossing through it be a breach of some sort?
Well, you tell me. Should it be the case that you, of your order, were sent through a portal to the house of a Lich Lord with the intention of destroying it, be against your oath?
Loxius, you're doing the thing that Haza said. It isn't, and I would love to do it. However, bureaucracy is a funny thing, and in our order, we deal a lot with it. And sometimes things don't exactly make sense in the way that you'd think they would.
This is why I have posed this question. I do not pretend to be an expert in your faith.
I will see when I get there, and I will have the intention of going through and eliminating the Lich Lord, but I won't if it is an explicit breach of our order.
He just nods.
But otherwise, I'm in.
So we've got this is your treasure, right, Torque?
This? No. This is a pile of artifacts that don't belong in anyone's hands. The Netherese were. Well, they made Faye look sedate. If all the stories are true, there is nothing that can be in there that anyone should have access to.
Enough for you to be willing to risk this. It's worth doing.
Right now? No. Not to me. I actually when I was talking to Oz, this is what we were talking about. This is what I brought to him. The things in that city, no offense, Lauxius, are simply dangerous. The city itself is dangerous. It's in the Anarok, which is days, if not weeks, to the east of here, but we're going to head south and in an instant cross through a portal and be there. Okay, those portals, you can find those things all over Farron. I mean, they're old. They predate even the Netherese, I think. For so many to be linked to one place, surely all of you can see how dangerous that is, and that's without all of the arcane secrets of a wizarding nation that nearly ruled all of Faerun. That's how powerful they were. The Anarok itself exists today in the state that it does because of those secrets. It is a blasted wasteland. It used to be their capital.
And one still exists and needs to be put down.
You want to find an undead? I can find you some undead. There's plenty of those in the world.
No, but this is different. this is more urgent, I suppose. It has been around for ages and has been continuing to abuse that power. If I wanted to dispel ghosts or zombies or any
You want to
undead
move on?
construct,
You want to move on, Thay? You want to talk about undead that have been around for years and doing actual damage? I mean, we got
yes.
we wanted we can go right back into the host tower. It's right over there. If you decide to go through with this, I will go with you because I have given you my word. But I cannot stress enough how dangerous that place is. Not even because of its guardian, because of what we will find there. Uh, and he will just look at Hyacinth, and who we might lead there. Not you. You're fine. But there are people watching you. That city is a threat, but it's been there and it's been quiet for a long time. That could change. That could change it any day. That doesn't. I'm not trying to say we should just close our eyes and pretend it doesn't exist.
Loxius, what is this guardian thing?
The Lich Lord. He's kind of asking that as a question, like if you need, if that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
Something that evolved after the crash of Ulrith into the Anarok. Something that is currently making the entire city travel across the desert in erratic patterns, creating towering glass structures of the sand through force of energy from underground. And as far as we know, eating whatever lies underneath.
And to be clear, Torek, as much, I suppose, deception as we've suffered, I do believe that Loxius did this to vet us. He would not be wasting an investment of his information on us if he did not think that we were capable. Nor do I think he will let us leave without properly preparing us or letting us properly prepare ourselves.
I said my piece. If you go, I'll follow you.
Hyacinth, obviously, this presents a solution.
A solution to what? How do you mean?
A place with portals to get other places.
Yeah, I don't think that just because there's a portal to jump to a different spot on the material plane would mean that we'd find what I was needing, but I mean,
Loxius did mention the capability of getting off plane. However, the fact that you knew that is a little worrying. She kind of looks back at Loxius pointedly.
look, for what it's worth, I trust Loxius. I don't believe that he would send us to our deaths. Um, the job is to help this person escape Luxon, Luskin. It's not to put down a evil Lich King, but if that's where this heads, I think that it is what would make us heroes as opposed to mercenaries.
Inks.
I mean, in the past, I haven't been super effective against undead, but I have nothing against this mission. Sounds like it's important.
How many days do you need before a decision, Loxius? Really, more, how many days do you need for us to find somebody in this city to help us with this? Because we did just lose the one most responsible for all of us staying alive.
That is something you're concerned about. I urge you to take caution in selecting who you next take with you. However, I cannot imagine that the pursuers for our one in question could be so far behind that we would not be seeing delegates from Mirabar within Luskin within the next day or so. Whether or not you choose to pursue Ulrith, as I sincerely hope that you would, wish to save this young man's life, you have very little time.
So, in truth, this is a job with multiple parts. The first is simply to get him out, take him to
Correct.
somewhere dangerous to us,
That is correct.
and there to make a decision on what comes next.
I mean, this is not so much a job as it is a call to action. Um, we should do what we can to get this person out of here. And if we feel, if we're at the front gates of this Netherese city and we feel we should not continue, that's, our call to make then. Um,
Agreed. Since it's separated, our time for deliberation is effectively extended for the more dangerous part of this contract.
I personally am in favor of the entirety of the job because it is, yes, the call to action for a hero, but that comes with it an explicit risk to your life. I'm comfortable risking my own life for that. Those are the choices I've made. But that is why I ask what each of you think. If we want to delay that choice, fine, but know that doing this sets us on the path to end up there.
well, I think if it is total consensus that we're after, then it is only Torg who stands apart. If it is a majority vote, then we should get underway and begin looking for this other partner in our escapades. Loxius, I understand, as it was stated, our relationship is evolving. Capital for the purposes of preparing ourselves and outfitting our needs and supplies would not go unwelcome.
I will speak with the High Captains about providing such materials required for your transportation. After it all, it is their men I ask you to keep alive.
Mhm.
What is the pricing for this job? Should we try to find help?
I could offer, for at least the delivery, 50 gold per day. Beyond that, I have the benefactor of our most recent acquisition that we may be able to negotiate with, should it be that they will need some other forms of incentive. Could speak with the spark of the Western Flame about aiding us further.
At this point, anything helps. If we're intending to try to find help, then we need some kind of bargaining chip beyond heroism. I'd love if we just pitched them the stakes and they joined us, no questions. Honestly, hoping that that's where we're gonna be at, but I also have no idea where the fuck to even look. So,
I was
short of
going to
putting up flyers,
I was going to ask, considering you want discretion, I feel like that would make finding another member to our party a little bit difficult. Do you have anybody else that you have been testing?
I can review some of the surviving members and see if there is anyone who is best outfitted.
if we vote to do this thing, at, at no point am I going to be comfortable completely discounting Torque's warnings.
As you should. If I were sending you on easy and safe errands, I could be paying a lot less.
To be clear, that wasn't necessarily for you as much as it was. She glances at the group at large.
All my warnings are about Ulrith. If we want to get this guy out of here, this spy, we want to get this spy out of here. Um,
Fair, and we can focus on that at a later date. I just
I would take on the Wizards of Fae if I were only powerful enough. Although nobody really can, you know. This seems manageable. And I feel like I might be commended for something. For once.
what time is it? It's still morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, provisionally at this point, though I cannot speak for the group, it seems as though we are committed at least to the smuggling job. It may behoove us to, if you have any potential replacement nearby that we can trust. Otherwise, we probably have to move, what, before the day is up? Faster the better.
If you are in agreement, then I will be sending you with my seal to the High Captain's Court to speak with someone of some significance to the city who can set you on the right path.
Who all is after this person? The
From what
person
I
we're smuggling.
understand, it would be likely counterintelligence from Mirabar.
So explicitly below table.
That is correct.
This doesn't put us afoul of any official law enforcement.
On the contrary. It is a well-known fact that any members of the Lord's Alliance certainly have members within their own court, amongst others. The only faux pas is getting caught.
Did this person get caught?
It would only I can only assume.
Beyond the broader mission, I suppose you can't tell us much more about them.
You will know more about them when you speak at the court.
Is
If
this
you're
going to be one
lucky,
we sign
introductions
on?
will be made.
Hmm.
I think not.
Very well. I think we can at least wait some time to allow you to feel out for resources before we escalate this. You said that they should be arriving how many days?
Within the city, likely within the day. Able to track down and find the remaining hidden spy within Luskan. I suppose that depends on very much how good they are at their jobs. Could be anywhere from 3 days to perhaps half an hour.
Torek, how long do we have to wait on your commission?
2 days. We won't have time to wait.
Not something we could throw money at?
I already did. That was with a 10-day discount. Fine. It'll be here when I get back.
Let us say then by the end of... If you give us the papers now, do we have to go there at official business hours, or can we go there, in the evening?
Lalxius goes behind the desk, or behind the counter, retrieves just a folded piece of paper that he seals in front of you and hits hard with his stamp. And he says, "They will be expecting you at 10 p.m."
10 p.m. tonight.
If there is time to be purchased, it would be then with them.
Very well. Do you anticipate having any resources for us by then, or should we expect them from you after making contact?
Come back here tomorrow.
Assuming it doesn't escalate and we aren't traveling.
Correct.
You said 50 gold a day?
You can make it 100 if needs be.
Is that per or for the whole?
Per.
Would you do me a favor with that?
When you say that, Haza, you feel like a little bit of electricity kind of in the back of your throat.
Hmm.
He kind of looks at you expectantly.
You know where Oscaron lives, right?
Master Von Dror, yes.
Half of my pay goes to his house.
Understood.
Hazel will nod. And the next time you have a shipment of papers for messaging, she hands over enough for one paper. Please send him one.
Very well.
She reaches out a hand to shake,
Yeah, he does.
turns around. Shall we?
I don't see why not.
All
All right.
right.
We'll be back tomorrow, or we will be gone. In either case, you'll know. She waggles one of the pieces of paper that she bought last time.
All right. You head out into the cold spring morning. We'll call our session there. Tried to leave a little bit of flexibility for